East Europe Hub, with its experts, selected 12 examples of best practices and 2 examples of innovations to represent Croatia, Slovenia and Romania. Spatra company, in context of cascading use of wood, presents a good example by producing 6 various final products from the wood taken from forests. Wooden raw material is during production process fully utilized. In every processing step, one final product it is created, and potential of ash use as fertilizer is being researched. Different parts of wood are used. Bark as fuel for boiler room. Energy produced is used for biomass dryers, lumber and veneer dry kilns, steaming of logs and heating of press machine and industrial space. Sawdust and leftovers are used for pellets production and low-quality veneer parts. Flitch residues after veneer slicing are dyed in dyeing kilns and processed in sawmill. More quality parts are used for floors and doors production, while low-quality parts and residues after precise cutting of the veneer are used for pellets and briquette production. Veneer sheets are used for production of final products. Elements from finishing sawmill are used for floor and door production, and its residues for briquette and pellet production. In this way of production organization, efficiency in using of forest resources in the form of logs is significantly increased. Tega company operates in the urban public services area, initiated a large campaign for wood residue collection in cities and villages at the county level in Kovasna County. As a good example, Tega uses wood chips as fuel in its heating plant and provide heating for its workshops, office buildings. The capacity of the heat boiler is 200 kilowatts. The idea was to collect the wood residues from the green areas. The collected wood residues, for example, for sanitation, gardening, cuttings and cleaning operations, are chopped and crushed and can be delivered for energy production. Tega company promotes and invests in acceleration of the entire biomass chain and participates in collection, chipping activities and produces more than 500 cubic meters wood chip. Tega is actively involved in local projects such as waste collection actions and projects. Since Harghita County is rich in wood resource, the main aim of this policy is to encourage and promote the use of wood in constructions, first of all at the level of public buildings, but to enlarge it on business and household level. The policy aims to identify how forests can provide new jobs and business opportunities in order to keep rural communities alive. Beside the fact of strengthening the idea of traditional use of wood, there is a need to create new, competitive wooden products with high added value. In order to protect the local wood processing-based industry, the policy of County Council does not allow the establishment of international investors who would like to exploit the county's natural resources without adding high value-added activity on local level. Taking into account that at this moment there isn't any big company, investor in the field of silviculture and forestry established in the county, this is already a positive impact of the policy. This policy approach should be taken into account in other regions of Romania as well. The most important lessons from this best practice is the consciousness and endurance of the local stakeholders. In Romania, the Agro Group runs its own recycling enterprises under the name Timberpack. Suitable recycled wood is processed there and used for chipboard production. Large volumes of byproducts and recyclable wood are generated by the plants. The company upgrades them into materials or uses them to generate environmentally friendly heat and electricity. Up to 18% of the wood used in Romanian factories are recycled material. They process waste wood from furniture, pallets, wooden packaging materials, construction and demolition that meets the requirements of the applicable directives and inspection systems. The company has a unique wood recycling installation in Romania, dedicated and uses exclusively for securing secondary sustainable life cycle of wood-based materials. With Agro wood-based materials, the company established good environmental performances of the urban wood material. The objective of a closed-loop material cycle is, on the other hand, to reuse all waste and byproducts as efficiently as possible, and, on the other hand, to make substances used in the production available again for production at the end of the production life cycle by implementing optimal recycling. Agro-Romania has established the first pillars of the integrated collection and recycling of wood byproducts through 3 collection platforms in Romania: Agro Timber Park Cernica, Cluj Napoca and Chitila, as well as in the wood recycling plant and biomass power plant at the Radauti plant. TimFlow is a traceability system based on GPS tracking of saw log deliveries. Review pictures, documents and routes from loading point to the destination of all trucks that deliver saw logs to Holzindustrie Schweighofer, the first company implementing TimFlow. More than 400 trucks delivering saw logs to the company's mills are equipped with the GPS device that tracks its exact route from its loading place to delivery at the mill. The application had several updates. Nowadays, it's available in English. Users could see all log deliveries by truck simply by selecting the specific date and delivery point. The application started in April 2017. The number of registered users grew 60% in the first 2 months following the update, and the number of transport checked on the platform surpassed the 3,000 mark, a growth of 75%. To better involve the public and other stakeholders, a dedicated Facebook page was launched as well. MSORA, Slovenian company, has developed a prototype of a timber window Rivin made of disposed timber. Rivin window is a unique example of a product that was developed by recycling the disposed timber that would otherwise end up at landfill, and represents a completely fresh idea and innovation in the field of builder's joinery. The operation reduces the amount of discarded wood, which is otherwise deposited at landfills or burned. A new service life is given to old wood and its lifetime is expanded, which directly influence the prolongation of CO2 storage. The key sources of old wood are defined, technological solutions for the use of such wood was developed, and procedures for the production of windows were developed in cooperation with research and development institutions, with an emphasis on the analysis of contaminated wood, physical properties of wood, and the appropriate surface treatment of such products. Rivin Windows is one outcome of the international project Care Wood, Cascading Recovered Wood, funded by the European Commission and several national EU partners. The timber window Rivin was honored for the best innovation with a social impact at the 10th Slovenian Innovation Forum 2015 in Nova Gorica. Machinery Ring is a social organization that offers support services for farmers and forest owners. It is a form of the use of machines between farms based on mutual neighborly assistance. Members of a machinery ring are owners of agricultural and/or forestry machinery, and they can also provide services to other members at prices agreed. The machinery ring ensures coordination and dialogue between service providers and users. Forest owners have access to high-quality hardware that cannot be afforded by individual owners. The machinery ring also provides expert advice and the purchase of sale of wood, including biomass for heating and agricultural services. In the framework of the machinery ring, the training of owners for work in the forest and professional excursions are organized in cooperation with the Forest Service. The members also receive various discounts when purchasing forestry equipment. To make better use of machinery and work on a larger scale, they set up a limited liability company, SK Service, which deals with felling, harvesting and sale of wood, the production and sale of wood chips, and the construction and maintenance of skid roads. Platform MyForester enables the integration of all stakeholders in the forest wood value chain, including providers of forestry services, users of services, and administrators of basic data about business entities. It is transparent and objective web-based information system for assessing the suitability of contractors who perform work in the forest. The methodology for evaluating is consisted of an automatic assessment of the formal suitability of the forestry contractors and direct evaluation of the service by consumers. Before the start of the test period, a network of potentially interested users who will be piloted in the online information system mygozdar.si will be defined. The testing will be adapted to the proposed technical solutions and adapted to the individual user level. Setting up a feedback loop and analyzing the acquired user test results will enable the preparation and performance of improvements. Open House Slovenia is part of the international network Open House Worldwide, which operates in more than 35 cities around the world. The OHS is available to the general public who can enter and test the buildings, get in contact with the owners and experts. At the same time, it is also intended to promote top experts working in the field of design, procurement, construction, operation, maintenance, and use of buildings. All the buildings showcased during OHS festivals are presented in the largest network of Slovene architecture. Over the years, the largest and constantly expanding collection of contemporary Slovene architecture has been built. In the collection, there are over 160 objects where wood has been used as a prevailing material for construction or indoor equipment. OHS encourages the awareness that buildings are made for long periods. Therefore, their operation, energy consumption, and the right choice of materials are important for a sustainable and conscious social and economic development. Web portal Wood Chain Manager offers different interactive tools suitable for the organization and optimization of forestry works. Web-based application Wood Chain Manager enables a simple selection of a technological model for the production of round wood as well as wood chips. With the selection of machines and their mandatory or optional accessories or attachments along the entire chain from the felling area to the final user, the costs are stipulated as well. Visualization of technological components along the forestry wood chains and presentations of costs enable optimization and easier understanding of otherwise very complex chains. Action Plan Wood is Beautiful is an operational document for increasing the competitiveness of the entire forest wood value chain. The document defines wood as a strategic raw material of Slovenia, which has a lot of unexploited potential. The action plan sets out the objectives, measures, indicators and deadlines for intensifying forest management and for revitalization and development of wood processing and the energy use of its residues. Key objectives of the action plan are to create a market for timber products and services, to increase forest management and conservation in line with forest management plans, to increase the amount and processing of timber at higher levels of difficulty with new technologies, to create new jobs and growth in added value per employee in the wood processing industry. The action plan again places Slovene wood processing industry among strategically important and promising industry with a sufficient amount of domestic raw material. Forest Owner Association FOA Pohorje Kozjak is voluntary, non-profit and independent association of private forest owners established in 2007. The main aim of FOA is to increase the sustainable management of private forests and strengthen the economic power of forest owners in accordance with the law. Main tasks of FOA are education of forest owners, consultancy on management and sale of wood, assistance in applying for calls and giving comments on legislation. In 2012, a forest owner cooperative, FOC, was set up in order to expand their activities to the rave of business integration. The purpose of FOC is primarily a common appearance on the market, which in turn accelerates the economic benefits of its members and increases the competitiveness of forest owners on the market. The FOC also established a logistics center for supplying the residents with heat produced from woody biomass. The next planned step is investment in boiler rooms, establishment of social enterprise, and sale of heat to final consumers. In addition, members of the FOC carry out logging and harvesting activities for forest owners and state forests. Forest Owners Association has been organizing timber auctions once a year for the last 12 years. Wood of exceptional quality of various tree species can be sold at the timber auction. First, trees that have high-quality timber and are suitable for felling need to be identified with the help of local forester. After the delivery of logs to the place of auction, about 1 month before the event, potential purchasers have 14 days to give offers to the selected timbers. Purchasers are looking for timber of precisely defined quality, and they are willing to pay more. The timbers are then sold to best tender. On the day of the open door, the public can view the logs and the prices reached. Purchasers are looking for timber of precisely defined quality and are willing to pay more. It is possible to reach very high prices at the auction, and that can be a motivation for forest owners to invest more interest, time, and work in their forests. ID Wood project promote and foster innovation and competitiveness of SMEs in the wood sector in the sea area by sharing and transferring technical and organizational know-how to enable local support organizations to address structural deficits of SMEs and enhance innovation potentials. Results of the project are improved capacities of support organizations, transnational cooperation between support organizations, knowledge poles and productive sector, increased information flow towards SMEs, innovation, design and knowledge transferred to SMEs, sustainability of the transnational network support system and SMEs cooperation after project end, increased knowledge of market opportunities. Results of the project are improved capacities of support organizations, transnational cooperation between support organizations, knowledge poles and productive sector, increased information flow toward SMEs, innovation, design and knowledge transferred to SMEs, sustainability of the transnational network and support system and SMEs cooperation after Project 10, increased knowledge of market opportunities.